The War Written in Ink, a werewolf story. Previous episodes are available on the playlist. You can also visit our website for your favorite stories. A link is provided in the video description. Episode. I tell Jackson I'm full after I eat 2 of the grilled cheese sandwiches. He looks at me like he doesn't believe me, but I remind him that I'm not an alpha werewolf like him who needs to eat 4 sandwiches for lunch. He helps me finish the last 2. He tells me that he's been texting my mom so she doesn't have to worry about me. She must have wanted me to come home, but I've been telling her that I need to finish a psychology project with Skyla. I only missed 1 day of class today, which is very impressive to me. I missed a shift at cafe, so I need to go there and say I'm sorry. I had to make up an excuse and act like I was really sick. It's not a complete lie, but I can't tell the whole truth. I'm lying on the couch with Jackson and watching a rerun of Friends right now. Ross finds his red sweater in Monica's apartment, and Joey's jaw drops when he finally figures out that Ross and Rachel got together. I don't mind that Jackson watches me more than the show. I get up and untangle myself from Jackson when the theme song for the next episode starts. He looks sad when I pull away from him, but I just smile and point with my finger for him to get up. He raises an eyebrow when I start to spin around on my feet. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Clap 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 clap. I sing the song loudly, knowing that Jackson and I are the only ones home. He throws his head back and laughs. I keep singing and dancing to the theme song. I look like an idiot, for sure. I'm spinning, jumping, and kicking my legs out. I look crazy. But I have so much energy that I just want to have a dance party to the theme song from Friends. As soon as the "I'll Be There For You" song starts, Jackson is right in front of me. It's not fair that he can run fast like a werewolf while I have to be slow. He takes my hand and spins me around before dipping me down in a big way. I laugh as my head hangs upside down for a second before I turn it back over. We keep jumping, singing, and dancing until the song is over. I'm out of breath, but Jackson looks fine. This is another annoying difference between werewolves and people. The show starts playing again, but now that I'm paying attention to Jackson, it's just background noise. We stop laughing, and I remember how good-looking he is. His dark hair is styled just right, with a little bit of messiness. I don't get how he makes sweatpants look good. His shirt is tight against his arms and chest, which makes the dips and curves in his muscles stand out. His eyes are my favorite thing about him. I really like the blue Jackson color, and I finally get what the eyes are the windows to the soul means because I can see all of his feelings in them. I see love, weakness, and happiness. I'm sure my eyes see the same things. As my eyes close, I forget everything but him. I lean into him and only have to reach a little bit before he bends down to close the gap between us. When we kiss, his lips are soft on mine. We kiss slowly to show how much we care about each other. He puts his hands on my waist and wraps them around me like he always does. I feel safe in his arms, and I never want this feeling to end. When he kisses me and puts his tongue in my mouth, it gets even more intense. He seems less afraid to touch me in a more personal way since he touched me there earlier. It's as if he opened the floodgates when he touched me once. I'm discovering a new feeling that I like. He squeezes me once with his hands before someone clears their throat and stops us from making out. I pull back quickly and turn around to see Skyla smirking at us like we're two kids who have been caught doing something they shouldn't have. I put my hand on my heart as I caught my breath after the kiss and after being scared to death by Skylar's sudden appearance. Hey! You can't scare me like that, Skyla! I yell at him, but I'm really happy to see him, so I smile. He poured a bucket of cold water on my face the last time I saw him. Sure, it was to wake me up from my nightmare-filled sleep, but I'm still ready to hit him hard. The water was cold. I'd love to watch you two have sex, but I have to do your schoolwork for psych today. Skyla always knows how to make me blush in just one sentence. He is a terrible best friend. We weren't. We were just, he hums, then takes his backpack off his shoulder and opens it to get his computer and notes from class. Do you want to finish what you were doing or not, or do you want to get the notes? I want the notes, I say, embarrassed that Skyla is hinting that things were going to go further just now and that I was caught making out with Jackson. Were they? When Jackson's front presses against my back possessively, I know he's there. His hands slide over my stomach and his arms wrap around me. I try not to pay attention to the butterflies he gives me. He rubs his face against my neck and kisses me all over with soft lips. Jackson, I mumble, hoping he'll stop but also wanting him to keep going. If that sentence was hard to understand, just think about how I feel. I don't usually do PDA, but I really want to kiss Jackson again. But school is the most important thing. I need to get Skylar's notes and have him explain anything I don't get. Jackson growls in anger as he looks up at Skyla. You're starting to get in my way. Skyla smiles and says, that's my job, as he takes my hand and pulls me toward the kitchen table to start our work. I follow Skyla to the island where he sits down and opens his computer to the notes he made today. He sits down in the corner and I sit next to him. Jackson sits next to me and puts his hand on my thigh as he opens his notes. I want to know why he's here. I love being with him, but if I'm just studying with Skyla, shouldn't Jackson be doing something else? Skyla beats me to it before I even ask. Skyla tells Jackson, what are you still doing here? Ezra has been picking up your slack for 2.5 days. Go do your alpha work. I don't know why Skyla thinks Jackson will take this kind of criticism well. Jackson walks slowly toward Skyla, his jaw tight as he tries to keep his cool. The more he glares at Skyla, the darker his eyes get. Be careful how you talk to your alpha. I get up quickly to try to calm things down. I put my hand on my friend's chest and tell him to give his target some space. Okay, Jackson, he didn't mean to be rude. He backs away and takes a deep breath through his nose as he turns to me. Although, I say, biting my lip and nervously playing with my fingers, he does have a point. I smile at him to try to calm him down. He doesn't like that I'm on Skylar's side. He doesn't show any emotion as he waits for me to explain. It's just that you don't have to sit here with us while we study. You don't have to spend all of your time with me. When I say this, Jackson's bottom lip sticks out. But I want to be with you all the time. The big bad alpha that was just threatening my friend 10 seconds ago is now acting like a 5-year-old. He really does look cute like this. I'm usually the one who shows my sensitive side, but I really like how clingy and soft he is. I want to spend time with you too, but you're the leader of a pack of werewolves. You must have work to do. Go do that and we can spend time together later. I hug him and put my face in the crook of his neck. He sighs into the hug and lets go of some of the stress in his body. He whispers, "I need you safe," so softly that I can barely hear him. "I'm safe here with Skyla. Promise." I mumble my answer into his neck, but he must still understand me because he kisses me on the forehead and slowly pulls his hands away from my sides. "Okay. I'll be there soon to check on you." He closes his eyes, and for a moment I'm confused until I look over and see that Skyla has his eyes closed and a look of terror on his face. It's not fair for a human like me that they can read each other's minds. They can't talk behind my back. "Hey! Don't mind linking in front of me. That's not fair." I shake Jackson's shoulders until he opens his eyes and looks at me again. He smiles at me and kisses me quickly. "We'll see about that." He gives Skyla one last glare before leaving, probably to go to his office or do whatever alpha work means. I look at Skyla, who looks like he's going to pass out. "What did he tell you?" Skyla shakes his head hard and looks down at the ground. "Nothing, it's okay. It's not fine." I shout as my worry grows. What could Jackson have said to Skyla that scared him so much? And it only lasted a few seconds. He just told me to take care of you. If I didn't, he made some very creative threats. I roll my eyes at how dramatic Jackson is. He won't do anything to you. I know him, and he wouldn't hurt his friends. I'm 100% sure that if I ever got hurt, it wouldn't be Skylar's fault. Jackson wouldn't punish Skyla if he didn't protect me. Skyla just laughs. Jackson couldn't hurt anyone because of a mistake. Is that right? I'm still a little confused after looking over Skylar's notes. Skyla is probably very smart, but his ability to take notes is not very good. While Skyla explains his notes to me, I find myself opening the online textbook and reading the lesson that was taught today. An hour goes by quickly, and I'm finally done with the chapter I'm on. But I quickly realize that I don't fully understand some of the ideas from last week. I don't blame myself, I was spelled. I start reading the other 3 chapters to get my mind back on track. Skyla is still sitting next to me on the stool, looking at his phone. He'll laugh at something he thinks is funny from time to time, but then it's back to silence. He groans and pushes his phone across the granite table after about 10 minutes. "Ugh, I'm bored," he says to me as he leans his elbow on the counter and puts his cheek in his hand. "Sorry Skyla, I have to study," I say with a laugh as I look at him. He is definitely pouting, but only one pout works on me. I look back at Skylar's laptop, but someone takes it off the table. "Hey!" I shout as I reach for the computer to get it back. It won't work because my reflexes aren't as good as his. He grins at me and easily gets out of my reach. "Come on, let's do something fun. You don't have any more classes today, and my best friend has been a zombie for the past week." "Ooh. I know." Skyla slaps his hands together and rubs them together in a creepy way. He smirks at me, and the evil glint in his eyes shines bright. "No way. We're going to prank Jackson," he says, and then he starts to laugh as he pulls me up the stairs. I try to pull my hand away from his, but either Skyla doesn't see me trying or he doesn't care. We go into a room on the second floor with cream-colored walls and a white duvet on the queen-sized bed. The room itself screams Skyla with its fashionable decor and attention to detail. There is a white faux fur rug on the floor, and the bed is covered in pillows that are blue to purple and have textured patterns on them. The furniture is all light, and the room is very open and clean. He takes me to the bed and leaves me there while he looks through his dresser drawer. He takes out a 2-inch binder and then shuts the drawer again. He sits down next to me and opens it up, flipping through the pages. I can only see bits and pieces because he is flipping through the binders so quickly, but when I realize what it is, my jaw drops. It's his prank book. There are pictures on every page that show the pranks he's pulled on other people. One picture shows Ezra glaring at the camera with what looks like pink paint all over him. There is also a picture of Jackson's car covered in sticky notes. I remember that story from dinner the other night. What the? I stammer, unable to find the right words. Skyla stops flipping through the binder when he finds a section with ideas for pranks. He quickly looks over the plans before stopping and smiling at me. Hey, what do you think of this one? I take the binder from his hands with some hesitation and quickly read through the notes. I read through the whole outline. Yes, outline Skyla made for how to prank Jackson, and I can't stop laughing. I try to stop by putting my hands over my mouth, but I can't. I finally understand why Skyla loves these jokes so much. Just thinking about how funny he'll look when we pull this off makes me feel more alive. I let myself fall back onto the bed, and the soft mattress cushioned my fall. I kept laughing like I was in an asylum. Skyla slams the book shut and smiles at me with hope. Are you in? I smile back at him and wipe the tears from my eyes. I'm in. Skyla grins and throws me onto the bed. He hugs me and says he's never had a partner in crime before and can't wait to prank Jackson. I hug him back, and all of a sudden, I feel grateful. I've never felt like I belonged before, but staying at the pack house with Jackson, planning pranks with Skyla, and seeing how the other wolves protect me when I'm in danger all make me feel wanted. I've read a lot of books, but I've never felt the way the characters do in them. When you read a lot of fiction, you start to wonder what's real and what's not. You just have to stop reading to find love and true friendship. I start to cry as I remember all the times I've grown emotionally. Skyla stiffens and lets go of me right away to see how I'm doing. When he sees the tears in my eyes, his eyes get big. Why are you upset? Jackson is going to kill me. Skyla sits me up on the edge of the bed and rubs my arms up and down to try to stop my tears. He keeps trying to shush me, and the look of fear in his eyes makes me laugh. Why are you laughing? I don't get girls. I smile at him after wiping away my tears. I've never had a friend like you before, and I'm so glad to have you as a friend. His shoulders relax as he stops panicking. He lets out a breath and runs his fingers through his messy brown curls. Don't cry anymore if you want to stay friends with me. Goddess, that was scary. Can you imagine if Jackson walked in here and saw you crying? You'd be planning my funeral. Stop being so dramatic. I gently push him on the shoulder, but because he is a gay icon, he falls off the bed and pretends that I've hurt him. Ow! I'm hurt, he yells loudly, but luckily no one in the house seems to hear or believe him. Finally, he gets up from the floor and lies down on the bed with his body spread out. Just wait until Jackson marks you. When he can feel your emotions and see that you're crying, you'd better have a good reason for why I'm going to be minced meat. I stop and look up from the white blanket. I don't know what that word means. Once he marks me? What does that even mean? Skylar's jaw drops as he sits up and looks at me in shock. My face must be like an open book. You don't know what marking is? I shake my head no. I'm interested now. Skylar looks shocked that I don't know what the word means. He gets out of bed and runs to the door, where he opens it. He looks to the left, then to the right, and then back to the left again to see if anyone is eavesdropping on us. He shuts the door and sits back down on the bed when he's sure no one is around. How come Jackson didn't tell you? It's really important. What is it? Is it bad? I start to feel a little anxious. Skyla is making a big deal out of this idea of marking, which makes me very nervous. No. No, it's not a bad thing at all. It's just an important thing between wolves when they find their soulmate. It's an intimate thing that you guys are probably ready for. Skyla lets out a big sigh and mumbles, Jackson's gonna kill me. I lean forward and shake him a little by putting my hands on his shoulders. I keep staring at him hard until he tells me. I'm only telling you because you know I can't keep secrets well, and he should have told you weeks ago. He clears his throat and starts. Basically, there are three main parts to a werewolf relationship. The first is the meeting, when you look each other in the eye and form the first mate bond. The second is marking, and the third is mating. Marking is when a werewolf bites the neck of the other werewolf to seal the bond and claim their mate for life. In your and Jackson's case, it's just him. I'm up and stumbling out of bed before Skyla can even finish the sentence. Bite? Jackson is supposed to bite my neck? Oh no, 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 no. He has sharp teeth. I'll probably die from blood loss if his teeth don't break my neck first. Has Skyla seen how big Jackson is? He could crush me like a bug in 2 seconds. I don't need anyone biting me like a vampire. I pace back and forth across Skylar's bedroom as I freak out, both inside and out. This is exactly why Jackson hasn't told you, I know it is. He's scared of how you'll respond. It's a big part of werewolf culture. See, Ezra did this to me. Skyla tilts his head to the side and points to the crook of his neck. At first, I can't see anything, but then I gasp and run my finger along the light silver scar. It's a huge bite mark that takes up a lot of his neck. Skyla pulls away from my touch and bites his lip. Sorry. Is it painful? I'm sorry. I hope I didn't do anything to hurt him. The bite must have hurt a lot. Why would he let Ezra do that to him? It doesn't hurt. Actually, the opposite. Skylar's face turns bright red when the mark is brought up, and that's when I get confused. What do you mean? He shakes his head and puts his hands over his face as he breathes out loudly. I shouldn't be the one to explain this. Man, this is so awkward. He takes his hands away from his face and looks at me. Pointing right at my face, he says, "You can't laugh." Okay, everything I'm telling you about werewolves is true. I nod my head to tell him to keep going. Okay. The marking or biting of the neck feels good. At first, it hurts a little, but after a few seconds, it feels good. It's because it's connecting your mind to your partner's mind. It lets your feelings mix with each other. Ezra and I can feel each other's feelings all the time. If you kept touching my mark, my jaw drops as the pieces come together. Does he get excited when he touches the mark? That's such a weird place to. I put my hand on my face when I realized that Jackson had been kissing my neck and rubbing his face against it since I met him. I thought he just liked it, but maybe it's his werewolf side that wants to mark me. Oh my God! My heart starts to race as I breathe heavily. If I let Jackson mark me, he'll always know how I feel. I'll be able to read his emotions. But he's always angry, so does that mean I'll feel that? How would that even work? And since I'm human, would it even be the same for us? Wow, I can't believe I'm even thinking about letting his teeth get close to my neck. Am I crazy? I trust Jackson, but can I also trust his werewolf side? I can tell that you're freaking out. Breathe deeply. You just need to bring it up with Jackson in a calm way and talk about it. He probably hasn't told you yet because he doesn't want to force you to do it. He's been really needy lately, hasn't he? I nod my head in response to Skylar's questions while my eyes move around the room as I think. He has been wanting to check on me all day. He didn't want me to study alone with Skyla, so he came to see us a few times while we were reading psychology notes in the kitchen. Skyla goes on to say, the clingy nature is him being too protective and wanting to mark you. Kala, you almost died. He needs to feel close to you in a way that makes him feel good. I'm shocked he didn't bother you at all. Something like that happened to me before Ezra marked me, and he didn't react as well as Jackson did. Skyla smiles as she remembers the time. I swallow hard because I'm worried and scared. I really need to talk to Jackson about this. I can't believe he didn't tell me about it. This seems like a big step in our relationship, and it makes me sad that he doesn't trust me. Of course I'm going to freak out, but I would have liked to learn about werewolves from my werewolf boyfriend instead of my werewolf best friend. Wow, I never thought that sentence would ever come to mind. I guess I'll have to be the one to bring it up first. Wait, wasn't there one more thing that happened during mating? You said meeting, marking, and what was the third? Kala. My cheeks are bright pink and hot. Skyla and I agree that we've had enough of the serious talks. I've promised to bring it up with Jackson the next time we're alone. While we wait for Jackson to finish his alpha duties, we plan out the details of the brilliant prank we're going to play on him. Skyla needs to buy some supplies before we can do it, so today isn't the day of the prank. But just thinking about this evil plan makes me feel nervous. Jackson is going to freak out. Skyla is talking about my part of the prank when he suddenly tilts his head to the side and stands up. He runs across the room and shoves the book into a drawer without thinking about it, then sits down next to me again. I raise an eyebrow, but when I see the door open a second later, I realize that Skyla had to hide the book before Jackson saw it. I can't take my eyes off of Jackson as he walks through the door. I barely notice that Ezra walks in behind him and goes straight to Skyla. Jackson hugs me right away, and I hug him back. He sighs in relief and puts his nose on my neck to smell me. I tense up right away, remembering the conversation I just had with Skyla about marking mates on the neck. Jackson pulls back as if he senses something is wrong. What's wrong? He's worried about me right now, but I can't be honest with him. I'm not having the serious marking talk with Skyla and Ezra in Skylar's bedroom. No way. I'll wait. I quickly make up the first lie that comes to mind. I'm just worried that my mom wants me to come home soon. I don't want her to be too mad at me. I haven't been home in almost 3 days, I really am worried about her, so I decide it's time to finally see her. I've been putting off going home all day. I should have gone straight home after I woke up from my long sleep, but I wimped out and spent the day with Jackson and Skyla instead. At least I got some homework done. Why can't you just stay here? I don't want you to leave. His lip sticks out, which makes me laugh. Oddly, I don't want to leave either. I've never had a boyfriend before, so is it strange that I want to be with him all the time? I want to spend every free minute with him, and when I'm not with him, I'm thinking about him. It was hard to study when all I could think about was Jackson's beautiful eyes, his hugs, and his kind nature. Yeah, I've fallen hard for him. I don't want to go either, but I have to go home. My mom needs help with things around the house, and she probably needs me to watch Maisie. You know how her work schedule is. I give him a little pout, and his eyes go to my lips. He leans in and kisses me until my pout goes away. Okay, I can't say no to you. Just so you know, I'm not happy about this. I give him a sad smile, and we both look scared about being apart. I turn to say goodbye to Skyla, but he and Ezra are stuck in a lip lock. It gets hotter by the second, and when Ezra grips Skyla tighter against his body and starts grinding on him, Jackson covers my eyes with his hand and quickly leaves the room. He slams the door behind him and groans while I laugh at how awkward it is. I guess I know what those two are going to do. Jackson drives me home, but he doesn't want to. I feel fine physically, but I'm not looking forward to being away from him. When he finally parks his car in my driveway, I don't try to leave. I just sit still and enjoy the last few moments I have with Jackson. I turn my head to look at him, and he's already looking at me. He looks at my body like he's starving and I'm his favorite dessert. Just his look makes me feel warm all over, which is a feeling I've never had before but really appreciate. I squeeze my thighs together to try to cool the fire with friction. Jackson takes a deep breath. His eyes go dark as he leans over, unbuckles my seatbelt, and pulls me over the center console to straddle his lap in one smooth motion. I'm starting to really appreciate how quick he is in times like these. I can smell you, you know, he growls. His voice is rough, and it makes me shiver. He keeps talking, and just his voice could make me lose it. Everything about him turns me on, his voice, his body, his dominant personality. I can smell how wet I'm making you. His hand slowly moves up my thigh until his fingers touch my most sensitive area. I moan at the feeling of his hand there, and he starts to lightly stroke me through the sweatpants I borrowed from him. You look so cute in my clothes. He kisses me while stroking me harder, and the friction feels great. I can feel my panties getting wetter and wetter. But I can't wait to see what you look like without them on. I press my lips harder against his as my need for him grows. His fingers keep making me feel good, and I can feel coming on, so I'm getting ready for the release I want so badly. 1 second, his hand is rubbing me, and the next, it's gone. I stop kissing him, and I think I even whine a little. Jackson smiles from ear to ear as he picks me up and puts me back in the passenger seat. What? My voice sounds like a whimper, and I cringe at how desperate I sound. How could he just stop? That was your punishment for leaving me. Now you have to go talk to your mom all hot and bothered while you think about how badly you wish I had made you come. He gets out of the car and closes his door. I sit there, stunned. What a cruel werewolf. He is right. I won't be able to focus on talking to my mom because I'll be thinking about what Jackson started but didn't finish. That little. When the passenger side door opens, Jackson is there with my backpack, which he got from the trunk of the car. He holds out his hand for me to take, but I don't, so I get out of the car myself. I cross my arms over my chest and angrily walk to my front door. Before I get there, Jackson gently grabs my wrist and pulls me back into him. Don't be upset, baby, he says with a laugh. He tries to kiss me, but I turn my head to the side so he kisses my cheek instead of my lips. Instead of getting mad at me, he kisses my cheek again and then kisses my jaw and neck. He lightly sucks on my skin, which makes the warmth come back. I grab his shoulders to push him away, but for some crazy reason I forget that I'm mad at him and pull him closer to me. I can tell he's happy with my reaction because he smirks at each soft kiss on my neck. He kisses down my neck until he gets to a spot in the curve of my neck where he kisses and sucks on it without stopping. I moan and bury my face in his chest as he works his magic. When he lightly nips at the spot, tingles spread through my body from my shoulder. The feeling wakes me up and brings me back to reality. That's the spot where he would mark me. I definitely see what Skyla meant when he said that the spot was sensitive. Holy heck, it's very sensitive. I push him away and give him one last glare before picking up my backpack from the floor where he carelessly dropped it. He was too busy trying to tease me to hold my bag. No. You can't just turn off. Jackson, that's not fair. Don't be mad at me for coming to see my mom at my house. My foot taps up and down in annoyance. Don't worry, I'm not mad at you, baby. He groans and wipes his palm down his face as he tries to figure out how to say what he wants to say. If it were up to me, you'd never leave my sight. I have to leave you now because that warlock is still out there. What if he comes back to finish the job and I'm not here to keep you safe? He talks to me about his worries, and my anger goes away. Of course, he's worried about my safety. I was only thinking about how lonely I would be without him. His alpha nature made him think more deeply he'll miss me because he's worried about my safety. Felix won't hurt me. I tell him that he never wanted to do the spell in the first place. I try to get him to see that Felix isn't a bad guy, he's just been misled and has a good heart. Even if I did believe you, there is still a whole coven that told him to cast that spell in the first place. Crap, he's got me. I should be freaking out right now, but I'm not. Maybe it's the calm before the storm, but I know Jackson will keep me safe. He's my guardian angel, and I feel so safe with him. I don't want you to worry, he says. I have guards outside your house all the time. You'll never be by yourself. I wish I could be with you. Guards. I whisper, surprised but not at all surprised that Jackson has pack members looking out for me. You won't even know they're around. They'll stay in the woods as wolves. He lifts my chin so we can look each other in the eye and says, Kala, call me if you need me. I'll stop what I'm doing and be there in a few minutes. My heart is warm. I know. Jackson drives away after I unlock my front door. I go into the house and head straight for the kitchen. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I know my mom is probably in there making dinner for us. She works so hard, and I'm a little disappointed in myself for worrying her. I couldn't have told her I slept for 2.5 days straight, though, because that would have opened up a whole can of supernatural worms that I can't explain to her. She was peeling potatoes in the kitchen, just like I thought she would be. She stops peeling, drops the potato, and smiles at me. Then she walks over and hugs me. Hey, honey. Did you enjoy being at your friend's house? I nod, but she keeps talking before I can say anything. Hey, I want you to know that you can talk to me about anything. I know I'm your mom, but I'm also your friend, I said. Oh no. She played the I'm your mom and your friend card. She must know something she wants me to talk about with her. Instead of answering her, I walk past her and wash my hands so I can help make dinner. An awkward silence grows between us until my mom decides to break it. Listen, you told me a few nights ago that you were going to Jackson's to stay. After that, you said you were studying with Skyla for 2 nights. Kala, I'm not stupid. I know you spent more than 1 night with him. I dry my hands on a washcloth and then turn to my mom. I shouldn't feel bad about spending time with my boyfriend. I'm 18 and can spend time with whoever I want. But I do feel bad for leaving her alone to take care of Maisie. She doesn't have anyone to help her with the 6-year-old, and she's a lot of work. Speaking of Maisie. Kala. Maisie screams and jumps toward me. I scream at the sudden intrusion and catch her in my arms. She hugs me tightly, and I hug her back. Hey, I missed you, she says, and then she frowns. You were gone for a long time. Don't go away for that long again. I missed you. Check out what I made in class today. She is suddenly back to her happy self as she shows me the simple bead bracelet she made in school today. I put her down as I continue to chop veggies, occasionally nodding and adding MHHMs while I listen to her elaborate stories. She talks about fairy princesses and magic and ponies, so I smile and nod at the tales she makes up. Her imagination is remarkable. My mom finally finds a way to get Maisie out of the kitchen. She asks her to draw a picture of the fairy and pony for each of us, which gives us time to cook in peace. I can hear Maisie's soft humming as she colors, which makes me feel good. She's so cute. My mom puts the chopped vegetables in the oven to cook with the chicken. Kala. My mom looks at me and smiles a little, and I smile back, but I'm not mad at you. I'm glad you found someone you care about so much. I know that my relationship with your father wasn't the best. When I hear that jerk's name, I get angry. My mom left him because he was physically abusive to us. He would always yell at me and my mom, but when he hit me, my mom left him. That's why we moved to Redwood all those years ago. I haven't seen him since then, and I hate thinking about him. Jackson's nothing like him, I say with strong conviction. Jackson is the exact opposite of my father. I was only 13 when I last saw my father, but Jackson is kind, loving, and gentle, which is not what my father was like. Yes, I know, dear. I know how he acts around you. I really wish I could have the love you two have for each other. I hug my mom and hold my arms out wide. We don't usually talk about serious things. We usually joke around and talk about the books we recommend to each other. This is something new for us. Mom, you'll find someone. I believe you will. Any guy would be crazy not to want you. I smile at her, and she blushes a little. Thank you, honey. But that's enough about me. Please promise me something. I nod at her and wait for her to speak. Don't lie to me about where you are. You can see Jackson whenever you want. You can stay over, just let me know when so I can get ready. I want you to be happy. I can't believe she accepted me. It may not seem like a big deal, but I've never had this kind of freedom before. In high school, I never hung out with friends on the weekends because I was always too busy working or taking care of Maisie to have my own life. But what about Maisie? Do you really need me to keep an eye on her? My mom shakes her head and smiles right away. I didn't get to tell you before because you were gone, but I got a big promotion at work. I get paid more to work less now, and I get the best routes. I don't get it, but who am I to turn down free money? I laugh and cheer at the top of my lungs. I start dancing, and my mom joins me. We laugh as we do a happy dance at the news. I know we've been a little short on cash, so this news couldn't have come at a better time. Maisie can go to daycare now, and I can take fewer shifts at Steamy Bean Cafe to focus on school. If we're financially stable, I won't need to give her any extra money. Maisie sees us dancing from the living room and joins in. She has the 2 drawings she made for us in her hands. She doesn't even know why we're happy dancing, but she wants to join in. She shakes her and starts the chicken dance, which I guess is one of the only dances she knows. I laugh and do the chicken dance with her. I look up when I hear a light pinging sound. My jaw drops and my eyes widen in disbelief when I see my mom recording us. That little brat! Mom, don't record me! I scream and run up to her phone to cover the lens. Oh, come on! You two are really cute. Please do the chicken dance for me. Please? Maisie begs as she jumps up and down with joy. I shake my head and let out a big sigh. You better not send this to anyone, I say. I finally get to see Maisie's drawings after the 3 of us eat dinner. The pony is lavender with rainbow hair, and the fairy woman has long black hair and a red dress. To be honest, Maisie might want to be a fashion designer when she grows up. Even though the drawing was clearly done by a 6-year-old, the dress looked like something I would buy with a low V-neck and a slit up the right leg. I'd buy it. Maisie told me in great detail how the fairy floated through the air in a blue bubble. I agreed that she must have flown down in a blue bubble like Glinda did in The Wizard of Oz. There's no point in me telling her that her imagination isn't real. I can't crush her dreams. During dinner, Jackson sent me texts. I didn't answer the first two because I was listening to my mom talk about her new job, but when the third one said, "Text me back or else I'm coming over," I quickly replied that I was fine and eating dinner with my family. I'm getting used to Jackson's need to stay in touch with me all the time. If he ever decides to mark me, I think he'll text me less often because he'll know right away if something's wrong with me. I'm amazed that we can connect on such a deep level. People don't have anything like that, but I feel like I'm ready for something like that with Jackson. I'm always thinking about him, so why not be able to tell when he's upset? I could call him and cheer him up when he's sad, tired, or bored. Sadly, he has to bite my neck to feel that connection. Ugh. I get a text from Felix while I'm texting Jackson before bed. I perk up and open it right away. We haven't talked since he broke the spell, and I've been meaning to see how his coven reacted to him reversing his magic. "Hey, how are you?" "Me, I feel a lot better now. Thanks for saving me, even though it was kind of your fault." "Felix, I'm sorry you had to go through that because of me. The ethics were making me feel bad." "Me, it's not how you use the word ethics in a sentence, but okay, lol." I move around in bed while I wait for him to respond. A minute goes by, then two, and I wonder if he's done talking. Jackson has told me many times how much he hates witches and warlocks. They don't care about how their actions affect other creatures, they use magic in front of humans even though it's illegal, they kill without feeling, and they don't respect other people's customs. He says they're dangerous. If all of that is true, shouldn't Felix have been made fun of? Hurt? Killed? He broke one of the coven's rules and saved a human they wanted to kill. I need to ask him how he is. He saved me, so the least I can do is ask if he needs saving too. "Me, are you all right?" I believe that text is clear enough. He answers right away. "Felix, no Felix, but I will be." I try to call him, but every call goes straight to voicemail. He doesn't answer any more of my texts. This freaking warlock is driving me crazy. I just want to know what's wrong. I consider him a friend even if our friendship has been a little rocky. He obviously needs a friend right now, and he won't let me be there for him. Hopefully, on Friday, I'll get to see him in ethics class so I can interrogate him on his feelings. He doesn't seem like the type to have the feelings talk, but I can be very persuasive when I want to be. The rest of the week went by quickly. Every day was the same. I went to class, Jackson picked me up and drove me to cafe to get a coffee and a snack, and then we either went back to my house or his to do our work. I have to admit that it's really hard to work when a Greek god is around. Every time he stretched his arms above his head, his triceps would bulge out and distract me. Why on earth would I focus on calculus when I can look at Jackson's muscles? I found myself looking at him quite frequently while he typed on his computer doing God knows what. What does an alpha even do as work? There were a few times when I knew he was messing with me. He said he spilled something on his shirt twice and then took it off because he didn't want the mess to get on him. Both times the shirt was clean. He just wanted to get me worked up and make me look at his abs. I had to tighten my legs to keep from getting more excited. I started to tease him back, slowly at first, but then I did bigger things to get back at him for taking off his shirt. When he wasn't wearing a shirt, I couldn't focus on anything. I would chew on the edge of my pen, which you would think wouldn't be a turn on, but the way his eyes followed my lips as I wrapped them around the pen made it clear that it distracted him. After that, he quickly got up and sped over to me with his werewolf speed and kissed me hard. I didn't mind. I never found the right time to bring up marking. We were both busy with work, and by the time we were done, I had lost my nerve and decided to wait until the next day. Skyla said that marking is something intimate, so I didn't want to push the issue, I wanted it to happen naturally. Today is Friday, and I'm on my way to my ethics class from cafe. Jackson told me not to go in case Felix showed up, but I told him I couldn't miss, so he sent a bodyguard with me. I feel like royalty with someone watching over me for my safety. It's not a good feeling. I feel like I'm being watched, and to be honest, it's pretty creepy. Jackson didn't give me a choice, though. I walk into the lecture hall and look over the seats for a certain platinum blonde. I need to make sure he's okay. I haven't seen him since he saved me. After a few moments of searching, I realize that he's not here today. The bodyguard behind me, who is doing a terrible job of blending in with the students, seems to be looking for the warlock, but he doesn't seem to be getting tense like he would if he were here. I frown and sit down in my usual spot next to the random girl who is always drawing roses. I only half listen to the lecture because I'm sad that Felix isn't here to make fun of my moral choices. I really miss arguing about the random situations we get. The hour goes by slowly, but the teacher finally lets us go and reminds us of our upcoming midterms. I groan inside because I hate taking tests. I know the material, but as soon as I sit down to take a test, my mind goes blank. That's why I have to study more than others to get good grades. Some people are naturally good at remembering things and don't need to study as much. I'm not one of those people. I take my time packing my bag so that I don't forget anything. The warrior wolf watching me stomps his foot as if he is impatiently waiting for me to hurry up and get my things. I just pack my bag slowly. I can see that he's getting angry, but he chooses to stay quiet, which is a good thing. I finally have everything in my bag and am carrying it over my shoulder. I'll take you to the pack house. Alpha Jackson's meeting is running a little late, so he can't pick you up, says Thing 1. Okay, thank you, I say, trying my best not to show how much I don't want to spend more time with my stupid bodyguard. I leave the lecture hall and am about to ask him where he parked his car when suddenly a pair of hands grab my arms and pull me forward. A curtain of blue covers my scream as I fall into the dark. Thing 1 doesn't have time to grab me before I fade into a dark blue haze. When I wake up, I'm in a dark, empty room that looks like the inside of a warehouse. The dust on the floor makes the air thicker. I turn in circles, looking for an obvious exit at least. I think I'm spinning. Actually, I'm just really sick. I try to take a step forward, but I fall down with my first step. I bend over and gag a few times, but thankfully I don't throw up my breakfast. When the room finally stops moving, I look around. I see a dark shape on the floor about 5 feet away from me and quickly move back to assess the situation. When I see that the person has white hair, I breathe a sigh of relief and rush over to them. Felix looks terrible. He's sweating a lot, and that's not even the worst part. He has terrible injuries all over his arms, face, and neck, and that's just what I can see. His face is red and swollen, and there are more bruises than skin color. His lip is split, his cheekbones are covered in tiny cuts, and he looks like someone just left him bruised and battered on the side of the road. What? Are you okay, Felix? I search his body frantically for more obvious injuries. When I see the yellowish-green bruises on his face that go with the purple and red ones, I know that these injuries aren't new but have been there for days. He mumbles, fine, and then opens his eyes and takes a quick breath, which makes him wince. He tries to sit up but has trouble, so I help him sit up. He is definitely in pain, but he tries to hide it with a fake smile. Who did this to you? As I whisper, tears fill my eyes. He leans in to wipe my tears away, but I gently grab his wrist and look at his hand. 2 of his fingers look crooked and are probably broken, and the rest of his hand looks bruised. What shh, don't worry about it. That's not why I brought you here, he says. If he thinks I'm just going to sit here and not find out who hurt him and beat them up, he has another thing coming. Okay, maybe I'll make Jackson beat them up, but it's the thought that counts. I needed to talk to you, but your stupid werewolf boyfriend wouldn't let me get within 5 feet of you. He also blocked my number from your phone after we texted, so none of my new messages were getting through. When I find out that Jackson invaded my privacy and took away my freedom without me knowing it, I go from being shocked to being angry. My mind slows down enough to figure out that Felix must have portaled us to this old building so he can talk to me. That explains why he brought me here, but not why he looks like he was hit by a truck. Unless... Felix, I say, my voice getting angry, did Jackson do this to you? He smiles a little and says, I wish. You might not talk to him again after that. Werewolves are very basic and animalistic. Kala, they're animals. No, but to answer your question, no. Your perfect little wolf didn't touch me. He groans as he stands up. He stumbles forward, and I grab his shoulders to steady him. I'm usually the one who has trouble with balance, so it feels good to help someone else for a change. When I realize that Jackson didn't do this to him, all the tension leaves my body. Who else could have done this if Jackson didn't? He's acting like he's going to avoid the answer, so I firmly tell him, you have to tell me. At this moment, he says something under his breath and then looks down at the floor. The little bit of confidence he had left him the moment he answered me. It was the coven. My eyes widen as I make strange noises of shock. His own people did this to him? What could he have done to deserve it? Oh my gosh! They hurt him because he saved me. This is all my fault. I can't stop crying this time. I cover my face with my hands and cry in front of my hurt friend. I take deep breaths between sobs. This is all my fault. I did this. Hey. You didn't do anything wrong. I'd do it again in a heartbeat if it meant saving your life. I hold him tightly, but when I hear him grunt in pain, I let go right away. I bravely grab the bottom of his shirt and pull it up so I can see the damage. If I asked him if I could, he would say no and say it's not a big deal. Thank God I looked, because his stomach is worse than all of his other injuries. There is a deep wound just below his ribs that is definitely infected, and it is disgusting and oozing a yellowish-green fluid. I can't help but look disgusted. Wow! This is sick, Felix. Why haven't you talked to anyone about this? I probably sound like my mother when she would scold me as a child for playing in the front yard alone. I'm starting to understand how she felt when people did or didn't do things they should have done. It's infected. He looks down at the cut and shudders at how horrible it looks. Yes. It looks terrible. I can see why you're sweating, I say as I put my hand on his forehead and shake my head. You're burning up, too. I have to take you to the hospital so they can clean this up and give you some strong medicine. He is already shaking his head no. Why not? If they don't help you, things are going to get worse. Why is he such a fool? Just go home and take a shower. You can get me the pills or whatever you need, he says as he starts to walk away from me, probably heading for the door. I quickly grab my bag and hurry after him. My phone is vibrating, but I can't pick it up right now because I have to take care of Felix and make him see how dumb he is. You need a lot more than a shower and some over-the-counter drugs to fix this. What have you been using to clean this? It looks so dirty and crusty. I want to slap myself in the face because he looks so confused. Here comes my motherly instinct. You haven't cleaned it. He winces at how loud and angry I am, and thankfully he stops trying to walk away from me. He blinks a lot before rolling his eyes at me. Are you trying to kill yourself? What's that? He says, throwing his arms up in frustration. He looks completely confused by my concern, so I speak slowly to try to understand how he could have such bad injuries and not take care of them properly. Have you never cleaned a cut before? He looks down at the ground and rubs the back of his neck. No, I can't believe it. I know for a fact that he's been hurt before. We all get scrapes on our knees or have small accidents where we need to clean our wounds. How could he not know that this was something he had to do? He speaks up before I can finish explaining the situation. I've never had to do that before. He says, I usually just use magic to fix them. This sounds like a normal thing for him to say, but I'm still amazed that he can do magic whenever he wants. It's such a strange and unbelievable idea to me. I'm starting to get used to the idea of werewolves, but magical spells and portals are still new to me. I really want to hit Felix right now, but I can't because he's already in so much pain. Do that little hand trick of yours and fix yourself. Why didn't you do it a few days ago? He frowns and looks me in the eyes. My punishment was to feel pain like a person would. Just like you would. They won't let me. For the third time in 10 minutes, my eyes are filling with tears, but I won't let them fall and make this about me. Why can't you just go against them? You're in pain. Get better. I reach out to touch him, but I pull my hands back before I touch him. I'm afraid I'll hurt him more. They would know if I used my magic to do it. Witches and warlocks draw on a lot of energy from magic. We all know when one person in the coven uses it. The kind of energy I would need to get better. They would know right away. If I did anything, they would hurt Elise. I nod my head and grit my teeth in anger. I'm so mad at the people he calls his coven. They're all monsters. How can they let Felix suffer like this when he could be healed in minutes? Beating him to a pulp wasn't enough, but they wanted him to stay in pain for weeks after. They're horrible. I don't want to go on a rant while Felix gets sicker by the minute, so I pull out my phone and order an Uber. Felix leans over my shoulder and looks at my phone. What are you up to? I'm getting an Uber to the hospital. I didn't think you'd like it if I called an ambulance. I tell him to be quiet before he can complain. You said you had to heal like a person. In your situation, a person would go to the hospital. Let's go then. When we get there, you can tell me what you want to say. I don't give you a chance to argue. The Uber shows up 5 minutes later. I tell the driver to hurry up, and he does, just by looking at Felix's sickly form and our final destination, Redwood Regional Hospital. We walk into the emergency room, and I nag the lady at the front desk until she takes us to a curtained-off part of the hospital. Felix is still looking around in a daze. He's probably never been in a hospital before, at least not as a patient. Felix doesn't have to wait long to see a doctor. As soon as she sees the wound on his stomach, she gets to work. She looks at the chart that a nurse had filled out and sees that Felix's fever is 103 degrees. She moves us to a private room, where Felix gets an IV with fluids and an antibiotic. He whined a lot, which would have been very funny if he weren't so sick. A nurse came in to dress his wound and take care of his other injuries. He started cursing at her for being too rough. I kept my mouth shut and apologized for Felix's behavior. The nurse didn't seem too bothered by the angry warlock. She looked like she had dealt with much worse patients before. I sat on the edge of Felix's bed when the nurses and doctors stopped coming in and out. He looked a little better already, he wasn't sweating as much, and the painkillers must have kicked in because he seemed calmer. His fingers were in a splint, but nothing else was broken. Do you feel any better? I asked softly. He smiled and put his hand on mine. Yeah. Kala, thank you for looking out for me. You're a good friend. I smiled back at him, glad to see the Felix I know instead of the angry guy he's been since we got here. What can I say? You save me, and I save you. We're even now. His eyes get dark right away, and his eyebrows scrunch up in anger, but I don't know why. We need to talk about why I came to see you. They have a plan. They want to. Felix stops talking, and we both look at the hospital door. I can hear a lot of yelling coming from the nurses' station, and my heart starts to race. I stand in front of Felix to protect him, half expecting his whole coven to come through the door and hurt him again. I don't expect my friend to burst through the door with silver eyes blazing. He comes into the room and goes straight to me, and 2 nurses come running in after him to make him leave. The nurses aren't ready for a visitor as big and strong as Jackson, so they don't know what to do. One of them holds a phone in his hand and gets ready to call hospital security. The other nurse looks scared at me and Felix. Do you know this guy? I look to Felix, knowing that if he says no, hospital security and half the people who live here will die. I beg him with my eyes to say yes. Yeah. This is my cousin Richard coming to see me when I need him. Everything's fine, nurses. Go away. Felix makes a shooing motion with his hands, and the nurses leave the room slowly, but not before glaring at Jackson again. I can tell that Jackson is about to change his mind. I jog over to him and he meets me halfway. He wraps his arms around me and buries his head in my neck. I close my eyes and rub his back in a soothing way. The longer I hold him, the more his muscles relax. He turns to look at the Platinum Warlock, but he keeps my body close to his as he lifts his head off my shoulder. I told you I would kill you if I saw you again. Felix lets out a laugh without any feelings. Go ahead, Wolfie. Kill me when I can't fight back. I know Kala would really like that. I don't want to leave Jackson, but he growls at me when I do. I stand between the two of them to try to calm things down. Felix, Jackson won't hurt you. Jackson, don't kill Felix, I say in a voice that is a little higher than normal. I never thought I would have to tell my werewolf boyfriend not to kill my magical friend. If I were anyone else, I would think I was crazy. Jackson breathes heavily but doesn't go to Felix, which I'm glad about. Instead, he looks at me and asks in a low voice, "Where have you been?" Well, I was because Graham mind-linked me that a warlock he couldn't name had taken you. That's Thing 1's name. I try to call you and you don't answer. I can see where you are on my phone and it's an empty warehouse. You're probably being tortured or worse. I run over there without any backup, only to find out that you're not there. My phone says you're at the hospital. The more he talks, the angrier he gets. I feel bad for putting him through that, but Felix needed me. I didn't have time to text Jackson an update. What should I think? What? I thought you were going to die. Again. I knew you weren't dead because I would have felt it, but I didn't know what to expect. I followed your scent up here only to find you taking care of him. He spits out the word him like it's a bad word. I'm sorry, but what was I supposed to do? I ask. Felix had something important to tell me, and apparently, you wouldn't let him near me and blocked his number on my phone. I cross my arms and shift all my weight onto my right foot as I send my meanest glare toward Jackson. I want him to know that what he did wasn't okay and that I'm allowed to be mad at him too. He doesn't get to keep all the anger to himself. His eyes soften a little, but they are still hard. I did that to protect you. Really? Felix must have put his life on the line to tell me something very important. He was just about to when you came in here like a bull in a china shop. How was I supposed to know that? Jackson laughs. He acts like he didn't do anything wrong, but he did. The last time you two were alone, he almost killed you and Felix coughs, which makes Jackson and me stop fighting and look at him. I really don't want to break up this fight between lovers, but I have important things to say and not a lot of time to say them. I walk over to Felix's bed and sit down on the edge. Jackson growls at how close I am to Felix, but one look from me makes him stop. Good. He's learning his place. Felix looks at me, then at Jackson, and when his eyes finally settle on me, he tells me something I've been dreading. The Coven wants to kill you. When I say those words, Jackson growls loudly and runs around me to grab Felix's neck tightly. Felix gasps for air as Jackson's arms tense from the harshness of his actions. I scream and put my hands on his shoulders as I push him back as hard as I can. Looking back, that probably isn't the best thing to do when facing an alpha who is blinded by rage, but Jackson is literally strangling Felix and I'm not thinking about my own safety. It seems like hours, but it must only be seconds, before Jackson reluctantly lets go of Felix and steps back. Jackson's steel eyes turn to me, and instead of the anger going away, it stays. Never, ever, get in front of a werewolf that is angry. You would be dead if you were anyone else. I stepped back from him because I was a little scared of his black eyes and long teeth. I don't often see this threatening side of him directing anger at me like this. He's been angry at Felix and Elliot, the werewolf he attacked for disrespecting me, but never at me before. I don't want to get used to the way his veins strain in his neck and the anger I feel directed at me. I stay strong even though Jackson's dangerous form is right in front of me. I cross my arms in front of my chest to protect myself from Felix. I don't care that I'm talking to Alpha Jackson instead of my Jackson. I'm not going to sit here and put up with his behavior. The heart monitor attached to Felix slows down from its faster speed, but he keeps breathing in a ragged way. I feel like I have some blame for what Jackson did. I shouldn't feel this way because we're friends, but I feel like a lot of the time, our actions are linked, and I should apologize to him. But I'm not going to act like this aggressive side of Jackson's is okay. I hope you don't kill your mate, Alpha, I said the word like an insult. When his werewolf side is acting possessive and crazy, he doesn't deserve to be called by his first name. Jackson's eyes slowly change back to their usual icy blue color, and I can see that he feels bad now that his anger has gone away. I'm sorry, baby. My wolf side he tries to touch me, but I move back even more and glare at him, cutting off his apology. No, you don't get to be forgiven that easily. Felix just told us that his coven was planning to kill me, not him. He obviously doesn't agree. So why would you hurt him, especially when you know that hurting him will hurt me? He tries to explain, you don't know warlocks like I do. They're loyal to their own and betray anyone who isn't one of them. This is probably just a big plan to get you to trust him, and then he'll kill you when you least expect it. I shake my head and turn around to see Felix's hand gripping his neck, which is now turning a reddish-purple color to match the rest of his bruised body. I gently hold Felix's broken hand in mine and rub my thumb back and forth over it. This is the best I can do to hug him right now. Felix wouldn't do that. Jackson's sarcastic laugh cuts through the air, making the room even more tense. He is trying to calm down by breathing heavily through his nose, but his jaw is tight. You don't know that. I wouldn't do that, Felix says, his voice sounding rough and tired. He looks like he's about to fall asleep because of the medicines and the pain he's been in before, but he still looks Jackson right in the eyes. You can hear my heart beating. You know I'm not lying to you. And let's be honest, I'm too weak to use magic to trick you. I look at Jackson with wide eyes. He can tell if you're lying. Has he always known when I'm lying? That's too bad. Jackson's chest rises and falls as he glares at Felix. Okay, he grumbles. Tell me what your coven is planning if you don't plan on hurting my friend again. His hands slowly move to my waist as he presses his front against my back. He holds me tightly against his body, and I don't even try to fight him. Even though I'm still mad at him for hurting my friend, he's still upset because he thought I was hurt again. I know how awful it is to think your friend is hurt. I close my eyes and lean my head back on his chest. I wish there wasn't a whole supernatural coven trying to kill me. If I close my eyes and think about how my mate smells like the woods and how warm his fingers are through my shirt, I can almost forget about it all. Not quite. Felix grunts as he moves around. I wake up when he struggles, but Jackson's arms are like metal bars that keep me from moving forward. I don't know what they're up to. They think I'm a traitor, so they won't tell me anything. Felix holds his hand to his side and takes a few raspy breaths. This hurts. How do you deal with it? My cheeks slowly deflate as I blow out a slow breath between my lips. I've never been hurt as badly as you, but you have to deal with it. Felix laughs and then winces. Tell me the next time you get a paper cut, and I'll take care of it. I jump up and down and do a little dance to celebrate. Paper cuts are the worst. They're so tiny but so painful. And I read a lot, so I know. Felix puts his hands behind his head and smiles at how excited I am. You definitely read too much. It's not normal. It totally is. Your thing is magic, and my thing is reading. Oh. I say, and then I start to play with my fingers. Does your offer include helping my little sister? She always falls and scrapes her knees or hurts herself on the playground. There's a little Dalton. I have to meet her. I'll bet she's cute, he says with a smirk and quickly looks down my body before looking me in the eye again. Just like you. I roll my eyes at his empty flirting, but Jackson pulls me away from the warlock and tightens his grip on my waist to protect me. Are you asking to be killed? I can do that for you, he growls more than talks. I turn my body around in his arms so that I'm facing him and put my hands on his shoulders. Just a touch sent tingles all over my body, and I hope that's enough to calm him down. He's just kidding. He knows I'm with you. I sigh and put my hands around the back of Jackson's neck when he keeps getting angry and sending metaphorical daggers at Felix. I pull him close and kiss him softly on the lips. What I thought would be a short and sweet kiss turned out to be the opposite. Jackson's hands grab my body like I'm going to run away with Felix instead. He kisses me like he'll never get another chance to take my lips. I would say he was jealous if I didn't know any better. I love how possessive he is, and I secretly enjoy how strong and intense he is when he kisses me. When I get embarrassed that people are watching, I back away. Instead, Jackson hugs me to his side and nuzzles my neck. Mine, he mumbles, and his warm breath hits my neck. Not his. Mine. I put my hands on his cheeks and look into his eyes, which are fighting between black and silver. I nod and say, I'm yours. He nods stiffly and then takes my hand. Let's go. The warlock clearly doesn't have any useful information. I keep my position by planting my feet firmly on the ground and leaning back on my heels. As Jackson keeps moving, my shoes start to squeak on the linoleum floors of the hospital because I won't move. Jackson doesn't even notice that I'm having trouble until I try to pull my arms away from him. No. I say firmly as I pull my hands away from his. He definitely let me go, because there's no way I could have gotten away from him if he hadn't let me. He's way too strong. Felix's coven almost killed him. You can leave if you want, but I'm going to stay with him while he heals. Jackson laughs without any humor. That's cute if you think I'm letting you stay here with him. No, you're coming back to the pack house with me, where you can be with guards all the time. Not here, where there aren't any guards and it's hard to get extra protection. He takes my hand again and walks me to the door. I put my feet back on the floor and pull away from him again. He doesn't let me go this time. Stop! Jackson, stop! I yell as he keeps pulling me toward the door. I turn around and see Felix trying to get out of bed at the hospital, but he's too weak to do much. He looks really mad, and I can see a hint of blue in his normally mocha brown eyes. I know how to get him to let me go, so I start whining without thinking about it too much. Ow, you're hurting me. He wasn't really hurting me. He was being very careful when he helped my wrist, but as soon as he heard what I said, he let go of my hand. His eyes get bigger as they focus on my wrist, which I'm holding up to my chest. Thanks, Mom, for sending me to theater camp for a summer when I was 7. I trip back because there isn't enough resistance, but I'm glad I catch myself before I fall. I give Jackson a dirty look, and he just looks guilty. Baby, I didn't mean to. Did I hurt you? Now that I have his attention, I cut him off. I'm fine. Now listen up, because this is what's going to happen. I'm staying with Felix until he gets better. I don't care if that means I stay here or he comes to the PAC hospital to get better. He's hurt because of me, so I'm not leaving him alone until I know he's going to be okay. You can't boss me around, I'm your mate, not your PAC member. The more I talk, the more Jackson grits his teeth. I can tell that he doesn't like being challenged. I can also tell that there's no way in hell he's going to leave me alone. He needs to find a way to make things right, or else I will hate him. He is thinking about his options with his eyebrows down, one a little higher than the other. While he's thinking, I look at Felix and see that he's passed out in the hospital bed. The only sounds in the room are his soft snores and the machines in the hospital that beep in time with them. The sounds that keep coming are calming and steady. I choose to focus on them instead of the chance that Jackson will make me leave. Jackson could definitely beat me up. He is a man and a werewolf, which makes him much stronger than I am. He could easily pull me out of here and lock me in a room with guards outside if he wanted to. This is exactly what I was afraid of when I first started dating a wolf. We disagree about something, and then he uses his strength and power to make me do what he wants. This isn't the Jackson I know, but it's the first time we've fought. I don't know how he's going to feel about his little human friend telling him what to do. I bite my lip until I taste metal on my tongue. I let go of my lip and ran my tongue over the cut skin. I wait and wait for him to say something, and after 5 minutes of silence, I turn to Jackson and see him staring out the window with a blank look on his face. I can tell that his mind is linked with other people when he has that far-off look in his eyes. When 2 guards come into the hospital room and walk right up to me, I squeak and move back into a corner of the room. Graham, who I don't like, grabs my wrist and pulls me to the front door harder than he needs to. As I try to get away from them, the other guard steps in behind me and puts his hands on my mid-back. Be careful with her. If I come back and see a scratch on her, you'll both be in trouble. Yes, Alpha, the 2 guards say in low voices. I don't want to go with Thing 2 behind me, so they have to carry me to the door. I'm kicking, screaming, and crying for them to let me go and for Jackson to change his mind. As soon as I leave, he's going to kill Felix. I have to save his life. I take all of the anger and resentment I have for Jackson right now and put it into the biggest threat. If you do this, I'll never let you mark me. The two bodies holding me stiffen against me, clearly aware of how serious my words are. Skyla told me that marking your mate is a way to show you love them and claim them. It would be like a person never getting married or telling anyone they were together in the first place. I can see Jackson's wavering shape through the tears of betrayal in my eyes. He relaxes his jaw as he looks at me. How do you know what marking is? I curse at him and tell him, it doesn't matter, as I get away from the guards. Once I'm free, I use their shock to my advantage. I run in front of Felix and block Jackson's view of his weak, sleeping body. Kill him, hurt him, and I'm done with you. Do you hear me? As soon as he thinks about me leaving him, Jackson's eyes turn black and he growls. When the growls stop, I hear a soft whining sound coming from his throat. His eyes are sad. He looks at me with confidence and control, then turns to the warriors who were carrying me out the door before. Take him to the pack hospital. I want eyes on him at all times. The moment he tries anything, you stop him. By any means necessary. Jackson's tone makes it clear that he means business, but the fact that he doesn't plan to kill Felix makes me feel better. I can't remember anything from the next hour. They try to get Felix out of the hospital, which is a big deal given how sick he was. I'm pretty sure threats were made to get the hospital staff to do what they were told. I ended up in the passenger seat of a black truck with Jackson driving. I'm so angry that I can't remember how I got there. I can't believe I had to threaten our relationship for him to respect what I wanted. As soon as we get to the pack house, I open the truck door and slam it shut again. I rush into the house and don't stop until I reach a door I know on the third floor. I can't avoid the conversation that's about to happen. He's going to blow up. I'm going to blow up. We can only hope that the damage isn't permanent. I stomp across the room to the other corner, and the door to Jackson's bedroom clicks shut. The room seems different, like it's darker than the last time I was here. The dark furniture doesn't make the room look better, it makes the dark thoughts in my head worse. How could Jackson be so mean? How could he so easily choose to kill an innocent person? He may not have thought Felix was innocent, but how could he be judge, jury, and executioner without getting all the facts? Felix is weak, for God's sake, he was out cold. I hate to say it, but the thing that makes me the most angry is not that he killed my warlock friend so quickly, but that he didn't respect me. He sent his goons to carry me out kicking and screaming while he got blood on his hands for no reason. He did this because he hates all Coven members. I had to threaten him with something serious. Something that would show how serious his actions were. When Skyla told me about marking, I thought I would bring it up when we were close or when I thought it was the right time, not when I was angry to stop him from making a bad choice. When I turn around to look at Jackson, his eyes are black, which is what they always do when he's mad about something. He's been angry a lot, and I'm usually the one who calms him down. Not today. The space between us is so quiet. The only sound is our breathing, mine comes out in short puffs and his in long, shallow breaths. I start this fight because he doesn't say anything. Are you not going to say you're sorry? I glare at him and cross my arms in front of my chest. He just laughs in response. I should say I'm sorry? How about you say you're sorry for threatening me and not letting me finish a werewolf tradition? And all because I was trying to protect you. He screams, and a vein in his neck sticks out. His eyes were black and steel, but they finally settled on black. I had to threaten you because you were going to kill my friend. A friend who, by the way, saved my life? He's not going to hurt me. He could have. I stopped Jackson from talking again. Now it's my turn to be mad. You were going to throw me out of there like a prisoner? You sent your little guards to grab me and force me out of the room. Do you know how scared I was? My vision gets blurrier by the second as tears fill my eyes. The tears are salty, but they won't fall for a second. He furrows his brows as he looks at me with fear. He reaches out to me with his fingers, as if he knows that when I'm upset and vulnerable, he should hold me. Kala, you should know that they would never hurt you. I wasn't afraid of them, I say in a low voice that I knew he could hear. I was scared of you. Now my mascara is running down my face, and tears are falling down my cheeks and chin. I probably look like a crazy raccoon right now, but I don't care what I look like. You can tell everything from Jackson's face. Before the tears can fall, he quickly wipes them away with his fist. He looks at me with regret and guilt as he opens and closes his mouth, trying to find the right words to say. He whispers, "You were scared of me," and I almost don't hear him. I slowly nod my head and watch how he reacts. He lets out a quick breath and then grabs his dark hair between his fingers and pulls hard. He walks around the room, turning left foot, right foot, and left foot. Turn your right foot, then your left foot. He stops pacing to come over to me, but then he stops reaching for me and starts pacing again, almost as if he remembers why he was pacing in the first place. I'm so used to seeing Jackson in a strong, confident way that I can't stop watching this weak side of him. He turns to the wall behind him and makes a fist. He turns to me, and I can finally see his face. His canines are longer, and his nose looks more like a snout. I take a step back from him because his eyes are so black. At this point, he looks more like an angry beast than a man. Don't even punch the wall, because you'll be more scared of me than you are now. He growls more to himself than to me. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. He keeps saying he's sorry, mumbling words I can't hear. I don't know what to do when the person you care about is in pain. His nose is starting to look more like a human's, and now he looks like my Jackson. His eyes turn into two beautiful blue balls, and if he didn't look so sad, I would say he looks normal. He walks slowly over to me, never taking his eyes off mine. He slowly reaches out to me and holds my hand gently, as if it could break in his hand with just one touch. He looks like a puppy that is sad right now. I'm so sorry, Kala. I never meant to scare you. I really hope you can still see that I would never hurt you. Never. I might get angry and punch walls or people, but I would never hurt you in any way you don't like. I love you too much. When I hear him confess, I freeze. Did he really just say that he loves me? I look up at him, and as he rubs my hand up and down in a soothing pattern, I start to feel better. Does Jackson love me? I question his words more and more the more they echo in my head. Did I hear him right? I knew he cared about me a lot, but I didn't know it was love. No one has ever loved me who isn't family. You love me, I say in a whisper, my voice shaky and unsure. He smiles at me and holds my hand a little tighter. I thought it was clear. I've loved you since the first time we met at cafe. I've just been waiting for you to catch up. I don't want to wait to tell you anymore. Even if you don't feel the same way yet, I'll wait forever until I love you, too. I smile a lot and tilt my head up to look him in the eye. He naturally moved closer to me as he opened up to me. As soon as I say the words, Jackson's smile gets bigger than I've ever seen it. He hugs me and spins me around the room. The sound of our laughter fills the room, and I couldn't be happier than I am right now. This sweet, caring man loves me, and I love him too. He holds me with one hand and steadies me with the other, without lowering me. As our lips meet halfway, my legs naturally wrap around his body. The sparks spread all over my body, and they felt like little fireworks going off under my skin. The kiss means so much more to me now that I know he loves me. Just thinking about those 3 little words makes me giddy. When my back hits the mattress, I'm only half paying attention. My thoughts are more on how my lips move and the fluttering feeling in my stomach. My core tightens again every time his tongue touches mine. I need Jackson and a way to let go. He knows I need a break to breathe, but he doesn't seem to need air because he keeps kissing, licking, sucking, and biting his way down my neck. If my neck was bright purple tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. Jackson, I moan when he touches the sensitive spot between my neck and shoulder. He keeps kissing and lightly biting the area, which makes me go crazy. My body can't help but squirm because I'm so sensitive. His big hands keep me in. He is still attacking my neck, but only part of his weight is on me. He lets more weight fall on me to keep me from moving and to keep my legs from finding the friction they need to calm the rising intensity between them. He groans, "I want to mark you so badly," and then he bites my neck again. I can't help but let out a loud moan. I want him to mark me too, in a way. Would it make me a wuss to let him after our big fight? I don't want him to think that what he said and did was okay, but I really want to be closer to him because I love him. Wait, I say softly, pushing on his arms. He stops what he's doing right away and lifts his body off of mine so that all of his weight is on his elbows. He is literally doing a plank position on top of me, and he doesn't seem to be out of breath at all. Does he have ABS on his ABS? Kala, stop getting sidetracked. We need to finish talking about what happened earlier. You can't just send your guards to physically remove me from somewhere you don't want me to be. And you can't listen to me. You know that Felix is my friend, and you were still going to kill him. He lets out a breath through his nose and then puts his head on my neck. He nods and says, "I know," into my neck. I ask, "What do you mean?" He lifts his head back to me as he moves so that he's lying next to me instead of over me. I'm not used to listening to other people. In the past, what I say goes. Now I have my little Luna to think about. It was wrong of me to go against you. I promise you that it won't happen again. He seems sincere when he says this, and I really want to believe him. But how can I be sure he's not just saying what I want to hear so that I will let him mark me? I still have a part of me that isn't sure why Jackson would want to be with me in the first place. Would he even look at me if we weren't mates? I can almost hear those gears turning in that cute head of yours. Tell me, baby. He looks at me in awe and tucks a piece of hair behind my ear. The way he looks at me makes me feel embarrassed. The way you were acting before. I've never seen you act like that. He nods, showing that he understands why I was hesitant. I know you don't fully understand, but werewolves are possessive and protective way more than humans. We make decisions based on instinct way more than we do on logic. When I thought you were dead, his eyes dilate slightly as he remembers, I almost went mad. I was about ready to kill anything in my path. I'm actually surprised nobody got hurt. I couldn't think straight. When I saw that warlock with you, knowing he was the one who kidnapped you right under my nose, all I wanted was blood. I couldn't listen to reason. I couldn't listen to you, because all I was thinking about was getting you away from him to keep you safe. I tease him about how he said, he didn't kidnap me, and the corner of my mouth goes up in amusement. He is making a big deal out of nothing. He took you away from your guard in a portal. I think that's kidnapping. He gently cups my cheek with his hand and strokes my skin with his thumb. His hand is so warm that I let out a small sigh of relief. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't trust him. I never will. I open my mouth to say something, but Jackson's thumb gently presses against my lips to shut me up. But, he says, stressing the word, I won't hurt him unless he gives me a reason to. I'll try for you. I can almost feel how honest the man I love is when I look up at him. He must have felt bad about admitting he was wrong. He trusts my judgment and listens to what I want, even though everything in him is telling him to cover the walls and floors with Felix's blood. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.